He's the man behind the body box. Next. When it comes to human connection, my guest today is a guy who creates a safe and healing space for individuals and those in partnerships who are looking to live their best sexual and intimate lives. It's the handsome Court Vox. Welcome to Transcend, Court.
Thank you so much for that intro. That was wonderful. I appreciate that. You look beautiful as always.
Thank you so much. I'm like a little girl today. I'm all like shy and bashful because I'm excited that I get to sit here with your handsome face.
Oh, thank you so much.
So Court and I, we go back. We would see each other out often. However, one day, if you don't follow Court, I would make sure to follow him because his Instagram is amazing. However, one day I came across a certain post that he had posted, and he was sharing how he, through his teachings, that he was finding out that he was open and had an attraction to women or trans women. Now, for me, it has sparked something within me because me being a trans woman, I am attracted to men who are attracted to women, trans women, but I'm also attracted to men who may be attracted to other men. And I was sharing with Court how that kind of like created some sort of inner struggle within myself. So I'm happy to have Court here today because, Court, I want to know, why do we create these like limitations and blockages when it comes to opening ourselves up, to others in an intimate and sexual way?
I don't know that we are necessarily cognitive that we're making these choices, right? So from the time we're really little, we have people telling us to sit still and to stop crying and to stop masturbating and all the things. And so something that is so natural to us as children, which is our bodies, like body autonomy, which is owning our body, just gets taken away from us slowly and surely over time. And so, a lot of times I don't necessarily think that people are aware that there's all these like narratives and stories going on that keep them from living their best sex lives or even just being centered in their own bodies. So I think that's the reason. But I think, as through my work, I help people kind of reevaluate that and also look at like things that have been stripped from them that they're not really aware of. And when you have this new awareness of things that are happening in your life, you can make different choices.
Oftentimes, when we think of intimacy, we automatically assume it's sex. What is the difference between sex and intimacy, or what's the misconception between the two?
Yeah, I think intimacy is this word that gets tossed around. It's kind of like the pink elephant in the room. Like a lot of people don't really know what intimacy means. And I do think there is a difference between sex and intimacy in the sense that you can have really intimate sex and then you can have sex that's not intimate. And you can have sex with someone that you don't know, and it can be incredibly intimate, and sex with somebody that you've known for years and have it be completely not connected. So I think intimacy really is showing up as your authentic self, being able to ask for what you want, being able to show up as who you are and in front of someone else, in front of a partner or a lover or multiple lovers, and say, this is who I am. This is what I want.
I love that.
This is what excites me. And if you don't want it, I'm going to go somewhere else.
I love that. With the Body Vox, you have a program that's called the Somatic Sex Education. What is that?
So Somatic Sex Education is the main modality of work that I work within. Somatic means of the body. So unlike a traditional coach or therapist, I really work with people through body-based exercises and touch.
I experienced a bit of shame in my past throughout my journey. Being positive, it has caused me to have an inner struggle within myself in regards to owning my sexuality, but also still having that trauma. What would you say to someone who's trying to take their power back sexually that may endure sexual trauma, sexual abuse, or sexual assault?
There's a lot of different types of trauma that live within our bodies. There's physical trauma. There's trauma that comes from a car accident. There's trauma that is lived from our ancestors, right? There's also sexual trauma, cultural trauma. I would say that HIV and AIDS is a cultural trauma that has affected the gay community as a whole. And specifically, I would say the age range of like 50 and up or even, my age range of 40 and up, where, we weren't really like exposed to it in a big way. But, 50 and up, these are men and women and trans bodies that really experienced it in such a palpable way that either they have HIV and AIDS and received all kinds of messaging around having it, and or they had people that were really close to them that died. And so, in that time period, really having sex at that time was almost like equivalent to dying. And so really working with the somatics and working through the body to kind of like reclaim that for yourself is something that I work with clients a lot on. Everybody's trauma is different and everybody stores it differently. So it's really hard to say, where that lives and in your body and how it will come out. A lot of times when I'm working with clients and it's like this exploration into sexuality, exploration into intimacy, exploration into pleasure, right? I always am really going down these paths of pleasure, and that's when trauma rears its head. That's when fear and sadness and grief that have been stored in the body come out. So really, it's hard to say how to approach that from like a mass perspective. And I think, everybody's journey is different.
What inspired you to become a sex educator?
Good question. I was actually studying shibari rope bondage with a woman, and there was a woman in the class who offered to be my rope bunny or my practice partner. And she said, what do you want to do with your life? Because I was kind of in between jobs. And I said, I would like to be a sex therapist, but not one that just talks to people. I want to do something that involves the body and is more experiential learning. And I said, but I don't know what that is. And she said, have you looked at sexological body work? And so that kind of like set me on my journey, and I studied for 2 years. I'm also a surrogate partner and practice Tantra and a couple of other modalities as well. And so that kind of set me on that path.
Before I let you go, what is court's greatest form of intimacy?
I kind of flip-flop, right? So in my work, I use a lot of like sensation toys and tools to kind of awaken the body. And I love all that stuff. And I go through these periods where I'm like, I really want all that from my partner or my partners and lovers. And then there's these periods where I'm like, I don't want any of it. I just want to feel like pure connection from the person that I'm with. And if I'm being really honest, that doesn't come with everyone, right? That comes with something that's really special and unique. And again, showing up as like, this is what I do. I'm a sex educator in the world. I deal with a lot of bodies. These are my kinks. These are my fetishes. These are my turn-ons. Like, does that work for you? Can you meet me at least halfway, right? Or can you meet me in one of them? And then that person going like, yes, or yes, I want to meet you there. And that feels like true intimacy for me.
Thank you again so much for being here, Court. To watch this episode again or for more stories like these, check out our website at pluslikemedia.com and make sure to follow us at pluslikemedia. Until next time, be sexy, be sensual, and like Dora, be the explorer.